Let's jump around to some of these industrial professions here. Let's do a cargo question here. Has the team devised any plans for a cargo manifest MFD of some kind that tells you what you have aboard your ship, possibly where it's located, maybe using the same 3D view from the engineering panel? It seems strange that
Ooh,
third parties who scan our ship have a better idea of
of where your
exactly what we
cargo
have
is.
aboard than our captains or crew do.
Yeah, that's true.
WTF, Torsten.
Okay, yeah, so we have plans to do a manifest. We don't work on it right now to do the precise manifest of you and your ship owning. You can have this nice overview, but there's a feature coming soon that also would benefit a lot from a more like precise manifest, or you as the player knowing exactly what is
What
on
you
your
have
ship.
on your ship, right?
I don't want to say anything in addition to that, but it's yeah. So we are working our way towards a better.
I feel like maybe they should make it's kind of, you know, where we have those like if you go to like a Hathor, Faro location, whatever, they have these little data pads that we see the scientists carrying. If they have they have one of those that you can stick onto a wall and you can remove, kind of like the way that you can take a fire extinguisher off the wall. If they have one of those that has everything that's in your ship, and when you put it onto the wall, it recalibrates and just tells what's in your ship, that wouldn't be too bad though. I think that would be pretty cool.
Small steps that we take here, because it's only so much time we can take off for some development to actually investigate here. But in the end, we will end up with hopefully a full MFD or full screen that gives you an overview of what is actually on your cargo grid or on your cargo grids, depending on the ship.
What's the status on ship-based refining? Seems like a critical role with crafting coming.
I thought the Moth was gonna have ship-based refining, but it has a refinery to just make the boxes. I thought they were actually gonna have a full-on refinery in there.
That is correct. It is a very critical role for crafting. So yeah, it will not be part of the first crafting release. So what we want to do is, like, for crafting as well as for engineering gameplay, it's a more long-term investment from our side. So we will like build up on the basis that we built. And right now, what we have in tech preview, and some of you might already have played it in tech preview, that is the basis that we want to start with. So we start with mainly FPS equipment for now, and then expand further on. And one of the bits is actually the refining rework, because we already talked about it several times, but the way that resources work will behave very different to what we have right now in the live game when crafting comes in. So Elliot also mentioned it right now, or like minutes ago, where we have quality suddenly being part of that, the resources. Quality then also needs to be like accounted for in the refining process, and that results all in to the refining that we have right now will not exist the way it exists right now anymore.
You know why? There's no way to have the same system running if there's going to be different qualities and things. What if like let's say you have iron quality 2, iron quality 3. How are they going to differentiate? They're going to have to, each of these different qualities is going to have to be its own specific, like its own like standalone ore. So when you refine it, it doesn't like meld or nothing. It just goes in as its own individual ore, you know?
We take that time that we use for the update then to also update the ship-based refining, the station refinery, and then as last step, the base building refining step.
Base building refining.
No FPS refining, right? Just having to crank a wheel or something.
Well, we have the crafters. Technically, the crafters are capable of doing like small refining jobs, but
okay, right.
That is, yeah, undecided at this point.
It can't be undecided because they talked about quality of weapons, and if you have a better ore, you get better bullet speed, better less recoil, all of these extra stack gains. So they can't be undecided. You need to have some sort of refining for the FPS weapons too, gang. That's the one problem with it, is how do you balance it and how do you make it fair across the board for everyone? That's the problem. I think they're gonna run into that really. I hope they run into it. If it does become a problem, I hope they run into it very early on, because it gives them more time to solve it out. But it's gonna definitely be a thing, because if someone is able to buy a bunch of better materials than you, now they have higher quality gear than you overall, and all these damage reductions and whatnot. And it's a problem I see in a lot of games, like even Ark. I see it in Ark. I see it in all these things where you're going into a fight thinking you're ready and you're capable, and because these people who are not better than you have way better gear because they got this blueprint or whatever, now they're suddenly, it's like you're cooked. You can't win a fight because it's not fair anymore, you know?
In regard to reputation for industrial professions, are there any plans to expand what we get from improving said reputations? Rewards and perks instead of just extra missions. Is more work a good reward?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I keep getting it. Yes.
No good deed goes on.
Yeah, I know. Everyone is aware that obviously the sort of progression in our game right now isn't there. 100%.
I don't know what I'd like to see. More missions, better money. Maybe you get, let's say you're doing industrial gameplay, you can get some industrial gameplay rep that you can turn in for like laser heads. Like if you get, like let's say you start with like a, I don't know, a salvation or let's just say a prospector, right? And you keep getting better, and then you get to a certain rep, and they give you a bigger mining laser, and then you can either keep it if you don't have it, or you can sell it, and things like that. Apart from that, I don't really see what people really want from that. You know what? Skins would make sense. If they got some very, very basic corporation skins that they want to give you, I feel like that would be nice as a progression. Oh, you progress, you get this, I don't know, black and orange livery for working for Shubin Mining, or a white and red for working for Shubin Mining. Some very basic things as we go on. Maybe skins and liveries for your ship would be nice.
That as you grind it out with whatever factions, you get rewards like new blueprints to craft, you'll get skins, items, and also new missions will unlock via that.
That's what we need.
The ultimate way. So like if we think about the industrial missions, as you start crafting through that, maybe they give you the blueprint for making the mining heads that you currently have to purchase. They give you blueprints to make mining bags that are empty and bits and bobs like this.
Exactly.
You know, in the future, they give you the blueprints for actually being able to make the ship to engage with that kind
in
of
the mining
gameplay, or improve your ability in that kind of gameplay. Going from like a prospector to a mole, things like that. So 100%, it's something that we want. It's something that we're trying to take baby steps towards because we want it sooner. We have a full design.
At least that's the end game you're going for.
Like harder to get to, so we do, you know, as the memes you've said, tier 0, tier 1, all that. So we'll do baby steps towards it.
At least they have it all in mind.
Yep.
Okay. Let's jump to. We've done a little bit of cargo, a little bit of mine refining. Let's go to salvage. Are there any plans to generate dynamic salvage claim contracts when a ship goes from owned to game rules?
Yes.
It's something that we want to do. There are plans, just plans.
There are plans. No, we need this. Like we need this pronto. Like we need this expeditiously. If someone claims their ship and now the ship is literally just in the verse, persistent, and has no owner, let me go and salvage this. Like let me go and salvage this.
We want to have it so that we can have missions spawn dynamically based on this. So if you leave your ship outside anywhere, we can have a intelligence system that goes, right, this one's going to be salvage claim. It's not going to be every ship. Performance reasons, we need to just clean some of them up.
The bigger
but
ones,
there will be ships that we go, okay, right, this one we're going to keep and we're going to assign Adagio, we're going to sell the rights to it, or a player is going to get a mission that takes you directly to it. Because obviously, apart from just like a forceful cleanup to help with performance, we also can utilize players for missions and
exactly.
Have you clean the game up for us,
which is good. I feel like that's what you need to do in an experience like Star Citizen. You want to use the player. We are the data packets that are going to go around and do these things for you. Like you want to utilize this as well.
I think I would love to do, because I keep seeing it on Reddit, is when people go to a shop and there's a load of bottles around the shop and they all pick it up and put it in the bin, and I'm like, I want to make that bin work so much.
We had a system.
Wait, they're gonna pay me for recycling? They're gonna, guys, I'm blushing. They're gonna pay me for recycling? Oh my god.
For that plant where you
is it?
Actually rewarded for
recycling,
throwing in trash into the bins.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is on hold.
Right.
I'm going to be a billionaire.
Yeah, Chris is always very into systemic solutions instead of artificial rules for stuff. And we have cleanup rules because it's a necessity for where we are in the game's development. But he has talked repeatedly over the years about wanting, if somebody leaves a ship, That should become a salvageable thing. If somebody's leaving trash, there should be gameplay to pick it up,
Pick up
as you
the
just said,
trash.
and put it in the bins. He would much rather
I'm about to be a galactic bin man. I'm gonna be a garbage man picking up the bottles, right? Driving around in that thingy with the sweeper, and go sweeping around. Bro, it's gonna be fire. I'm gonna be fire, bro.
Systemic solutions that the players can engage in order to maintain the performance of the universe, rather than these artificial rules that just come in and magically make things disappear and stuff like that. It's the amount of conversations that have happened over the years about cleaning up bottles and putting them in cans and salvaging ships that are abandoned, or wreckages that are left over and stuff. It's just it's all there. It's just like anything else. It's finding the time and the resources.
Wait till we start making missions where if people leave the ship and press the button to reclaim it, there's a mission where someone's got to go get the ship and take it all the way to where you live.
Oh yeah.
Imagine you reclaim my ship and someone has to go pick your ship up. Imagine you have to wait 10 minutes from someone to get your ship from Pyro all the way back to Stanton, all the way back to Crusader. Nah, that would actually boil my blood.
Oh yeah. You don't get your ship back till somebody goes and tows it back?
Couple of weeks minimum.
A week for insurance.
Realism.
I believe there was a question about the SRV. Yes, are there any plans to use the SRV in salvage recovery missions, aka tow a shipwreck to hangar or junkyard?
We have plans for sure. We've prototyped it once or twice, but there are issues with it as to why we don't want to release it just yet. Like edge cases we need to sort of clean up so that it's not abused.
Because people would be able to use it and freaking tow your ship while you're in your ship.
Can we have a bumper dumping button so we can stop suffering?
Actually, that is very high on our quality of life list for salvage improvements. So yes.
Just a one button.
Yeah, it's just
clear the buffer.
Yeah, it's clear buffer.
Where would it go? Would it just disappear, or would it actually?
No, no. It's just gone.
So you can.
And when you say
clear your buffer, is that when? Do you know what I mean? When you have like maybe half an SCU and you don't want it, and there's like you have the different materials, you just want to empty it out.
Very high on your list. That's like next week, or.
No, high on the list just means it is like we have
coming
like
soon.
Every feature we release, we always have like lists of things that we want to improve. And if we get the allowance to work on those things, then we work from top to bottom. And I can tell you this is definitely in the top 5.
Okay.
For the guy who goes, we don't do when questions. You just asked a when question.
I checked the show with Benoit 2 weeks ago. I was asking a whole bunch of them. I'm at a point in my time here where
he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
If they were going to do anything to me, they would have done it by now.
Let's hope he's not watching from Australia.
How different will ship refining be compared to station refining?
Much slower.
Just jumping all over the place here.
Yeah, it will be. So, station refinery right now will not be the refining method that you will have on your ship. But also moving forward, station refinery will not be what it is right now.
Back to what you were saying earlier, yeah.
Yeah, so back what we were saying earlier. So it will be the same gameplay, full stop. So we will, like the moment that the new refining method comes in, it will be shared between player-driven and station-driven. The only thing that the station does for you is, it's done by an AI.
It's done by
the station versus you have a player doing it for you.
So players can do the refining.
We're going to do this next question. It's kind of a big one, and we're all going to try really hard not piss off half of our fan base.
Oh, Walkers.
Okay, remember, try really hard. Many players love the idea of building a second life in the complex, high-fidelity sci-fi universe you all have worked so hard to realize.
Okay.
Who wrote this, Mom?
Okay.
Can you again confirm how you intend for players to enjoy industrial gameplay without there being a need for armed protection, PvP readiness at all times? Your mess.
Can we piss off with that? Stop being weak bums. Oh my goodness. I go out for industrial gameplay all the time. I barely see anyone. People are so scared of things that won't happen. The only time I've ever seen anyone on Star Citizen in my chat ever get attacked while they were out doing PvE things was when they dead ass gave their whole location to the whole server. Oh, anyone want to come and do mining? I'm at this blah 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 blah. I've got blah 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 Quantanium on me, and I found a big rock of Quantanium. Come and help me. Come and help me crack the rock. Oh no, I got PvP'd. You freaking moron. You gave everybody your location on the worldwide server with over 600 players. You absolute doorknob. You potato. You're a carrot, a vegetable. Like, don't give your location on global if you don't want to be PvP'd. I go around doing bounties all the time. Sometimes I go mining at Yella. Right beside Grim Hex, and I never, ever get attacked. Remember when I was like, what was it, like 9 months into Star Citizen? I was salvaging with a vulture in Pyro, and I only got attacked twice at the station. And not at the, like, Stanton jump point or anything. It was literally at Ruined Station. I went to a hostile station, and I got attacked twice. Don't be boasting about, oh, I've got so much Bexalite and Quantanium. Don't stop boasting about shit. Just get your shit done. Boast about it when you've got it down in the refinery, gang. Don't be a dumbass. Think about it. You're in a reclaimer, though. You're in a very big ship with a big signature. People will attack you just for the bare bands. Like, you can see reclaimers from so far away, man. How many times have you been jumped in your reclaimer? Think about it. How many times have you been jumped in your reclaimer? Probably once or twice. It's not an everyday thing, you know? Some people dead ass act like it's an everyday thing, bro. Everyday thing, bro. Like, you don't get attacked every day. And for the most part, right, even on a ship like an Argo Mole, right, the only time I can see it, if you're solo and you're on one of your bottom seats, then I see it, okay, yeah, if you're in an Argo Mole, you're solo, you're in your bottom seats, you probably get busted out. But I promise you, if you're in an Argo Mole in your pilot seat and someone is coming for you, bro, quantum the heck out of there, bro. Unless they're there with like a ship that can stop you from quantuming, get out of there, bro. Now, no, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. When it happens, it is definitely scary and it's definitely annoying. We've seen videos where I'm getting attacked when I'm just roaming around trying to find loot and things, and my ship gets attacked and destroyed, right? It is very scary and it's very annoying, but it's not an everyday thing. It's not an everyday thing. Like, that's the thing. If you're going in paths that can be stopped and can be used by pirates or whatever, yeah. And at the end of the day, for me, when I look in the global chat, if there is pirates on a server, everyone in the server will literally say, there is pirates on the server. There is pirates on the server. Find a new server. Don't go doing your high value time crunching thing on a server with pirates. Move on. Come back in. It's not that hard. But people will go out knowing the risk and go at the peak of the risk. So why are you going at the peak of the risk? But it's not as often. People make it sound like it's often. It's every day. It's everyday pirates. It's every day we need backup. I have never had a single backup. The only time I have backups is in contested zones with the boys. Dead ass.
Confirm how you intend for players to enjoy industrial gameplay without there being a need for armed protection, PvP readiness at all times. Your messaging has been mixed, and Spectrum continues to flare up on the issue. Thanks.
Stop being a bitch.
Next question.
Exactly.
Star Citizen is a living and breathing world.
Yeah.
So the ultimate plan, the plan that we're aiming towards, is we'll have systems that have different security rankings, right? The idea that we talked about at CitizenCon was Stanton is a high-sec system, and Pyro is low-sec. Because of the current implementation of law and sort of we don't have the law ships coming in and responding like as we want in Stanton. Right now, players can pirate in Stanton with little to no consequence at all.
Right. Okay, that is a true fact.
It's the exact same as Pyro. There's little to no consequence at all. So what we want to go towards is that, say you're going to, I don't know, craft something, right? And you need X amount of this really rare material, right? It's in abundance in Pyro, but it's not in abundance in Stanton.
Right.
The idea is you can mine in Stanton, but it will take longer.
Longer than if you go to Pyro.
And it's quite likely that you're going to be safer because of the law system when we evolve it. You'll be safer, but it's not impossible. You can still get pirated. You can still get attacked by players. You could even still get attacked by like AI pirates, right? Whereas if you go to Pyro, you know, the goods will be in such abundance that it's easier to find, but it's so much higher of a risk for you to get attacked by AI or players. So the answer is, ultimately, there's always going to be a risk of being attacked by another player or an AI.
Exactly.
The difference will be per system. It will be either higher or lower.
Or lower.
So you can make an informed decision. So in Stanton.
And guess what? I promise you, when they had added all the systems, all the security systems and everything in place, all these players complaining about PvP, they're all going to be saying, we're so bored in Stanton. We're so bored in... what's the other one called? Terra. Oh, we're so bored in Terra. We're so bored in Stanton. There's never anything going on. Add more content, please. That's what they're gonna start saying, gang. They're gonna start crying about it because nothing is happening. Because that fear that at any point something might happen to me, low key, keeps the game alive. It keeps the hairs perked up on your skin because you're ready to go. You have it's excitement. Think about it. Because you know that there's a risk that I die, but in your brain you know that this is a video game, this is an online world. It keeps you excited. You know what I'm saying? Excited, bro. Someone told me when I first started Star Citizen that back in the day, there used to be NPC ships, like kind of like GTA, where the police come after you. There used to be NPC ships that used to come after you if you had a crime stat, and they'd come and they'd kill you, and then you ended up in prison. Someone told me that it used to be a thing, but then they took it out because people were like using it to like make problems. There would be a PvP slider. Okay, right. So there would PvP slider sounds a little bit. How do you do that with a persistent universe that has everyone in the same place? And if we split up the player base on PvE or PvP systems, it's going to be absolutely garbage. It's going to kill the game. Games that split up their player base like that generally always end up killing the game because there's always going to be a very, very big disconnect. Well, oh, we want this thing on PvE, but this thing on PvE will destroy this thing on PvP, so the PvP people don't want it. So you have to like start lobbying between the two. I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense. I get being annoyed, but then when let's say when I started playing Star Citizen, I read the UELA. It was like telling you like, hey, look, everything is subject to change. Nothing is stable and set in stone. Everything is subject. So I knew coming into this that if anything gets changed, I agreed to that, you know? So yeah, they said you're gonna have a PvE slider, but yes, they also said in the second breath that, hey, look, everything is subject to change, gang. So I don't get it. Like, because I've seen a lot of games that it's having everything split up. It doesn't work. Long term, it doesn't work, and it puts a divide between the player base where it ends up being the player bases they start fighting each other, and when your player base starts fighting each other, you end up with a game where at some point one of the player bases is gonna say, you know what, we've had enough, we're leaving. And then the game will start to die, you know? I know we have like the security contracts, but we need something where it's like you can actively become a space pilot. And when you, okay, boom, here's it is, right? Let's say you become a space cop, you get a space cop ship that is better. Let's say you get, what's a really good ship? I don't know, a Guardian MX that is different, that CIG actually made different with either higher DPS. You can't change the weapons. There's no freaking physicalized components and nothing. You can't take the guns off. Everything is bespoke. And as you come in, you sign up to the police academy, you do a few missions, maybe something like the ghillie missions and whatnot, and you get trained. And when you get to a certain rep with that system, you get given this CIG Guardian for your sector. So if you're Crusader, you get a blue and white one. If you're from ArcCorp, you get a red and mustard one. And then this ship is way freaking better than most ships, right? So even if you're not a player who's great at PvP, you'll get a notification, player wanted, killing players or whatever. You can take that mission, you can call up your boosted ship and go out and fight. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit, oh no, why do they have ships that are made by CIG? But it's like, hey, wait a minute, why are you killing players in Stanton? You can do this in Pyro with no repercussions. Why are you doing it in Stanton? And because you're doing it in Stanton, these players get this OP ship to come hunt your ass and string you up, buddy. That's what it is. Literally, a player gets killed and every single police officer gets given a beacon. You get 100,000. You get a super OP, not even super OP, but a ship that has way more armor. So let's say, I don't know how much this is, I'm just spitballing here. Let's say the Guardian MX has 20,000 hull HP. The one they give you has 50,000. So even if they make the ship the exact same in terms of like maneuverability, speed, all that. They just give you way more HP so you can survive longer in the fight, and they make sure all the components cannot be taken out. So if you have a bigger power plant to give you more power that you can use to keep your guns at full at all the time, your shields at full, everything, you can't take those out, so you can't dupe those. But apart from that, bro, think about it. They give you an OP ship, and then now we as the players can go out and fight people who are causing issues as UEE police. Like, think about it. Like a self-moderating game. And if someone, like, let's say someone has one of those ships and they go out with that ship and they attack someone who is an innocent, you lose rep. Now you can't call that ship again. You go out and you attack an innocent, you're losing rep, and you can't call that ship again. That ship gets impounded and you can't call it until you get back your rep up. Or you're not allowed to be a police officer until the next wipe or for like 2 months. Like, do you guys agree that you have a way we get a bigger ship that just gives us easy, so we can go out and do the thing ourselves? I don't think it needs to be. I don't think, like, think about it, right? Think about it. Even if they just give you more HP on your ship, I don't feel like that's overpowered, because a good pilot in like a Gladius, even if you have 30,000 more hull HP on a ship, they would still end up killing you. It just gives you a better chance as a police officer to survive long enough to kill the perpetrator, right? Because think about it, in real life, right? Perpetrators have regular civilian cars. The police are pulling up with armored SUVs, gang. They pull up with a blacked out Sprinter with bulletproof windows. Same thing, same logic. You pull up with that blacked out SUV, got bulletproof. Like, bro, you shoot 50 cal rounds, it don't do nothing. That's what we need. We need to have an OP ship that is a police cruiser that is made specifically and only given to people who enter the police force and are actually have a record of being a good citizen, and then they can go and moderate the freaking universe. Oh, there's pirates at OM1. Aye, let's get it. Let's go get it, gango. Let's do it. And I feel like that would solve a lot of the problems, because self-regulation is always going to be better, right? And in a day-to-day life in the real world, people feel safer when there's police outside sometimes. Not all the times, but sometimes. If you're at a parade, a festival, you feel a little bit safer if there's police around, because you know that they're taking care of the situation. If anything happens, there's someone you can say, hey, something's going on, can you help me here? You know, so I feel like having people in the verse, players being police, all these PvE guys who are scared of going out will be able to say, SOS, I'm being attacked at this, blah, blah, blah. We need police over here real quick. And if your ship has a faster quantum drive, has more, police are going to be just like, yeah, we're on our way, boom, boom, boom. And most people who are police officers, I feel like, will literally be patrolling the verse in their police ship at all times, waiting, you know? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you go out and you shoot a regular player that's not a criminal, you lose all the rep that gives you that ship. You lose it, so you can't get that ship, and maybe 2 months later, then you can get the rep back up. So like, it locks your rep away for 2 months, so you can do some security missions, but you have to do it in your own personal ships that are in the verse, so you don't have this OP ship anymore. So you shoot a regular player, let's say your rep is like up here, you shoot a regular player doesn't have a crime stat, poof, now for the next 2 months or 2 weeks or whatever it is, you can't get that rep back up, meaning that you have to do all the missions with your regular ship, and then after your cooldown period, you get your ship back, and now you can go out with this OP ship again. But yeah, definitely, emerging gameplay is definitely the way up. But yeah, there has to be definitely safeguards. We have to safeguard it, but I feel like that's a good way to go, because I wouldn't care if let's say I'm a criminal and they're sending a player like that's after me with a ship that has more HP than the normal version. I don't care. I'll fight it anyway. I don't care, because I'm not a griefer. The only people who will care are griefers. And it's like, take that behavior to Pyro. Yeah, go to Pyro with that shit. Stay out of Stanton with that shit. And then everyone just suddenly feels a little bit safer. You know what I'm saying?
You're meant to be pretty much safe, but it's not going to rule out the fact that you're going to get attacked.
You're meant to be more safe than you will in Pyro, perhaps not as safe as you would in like Terra.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, it's the short answer to this, and Elliot, you actually acquitted yourself very well there, thank you. The answer is the law system is not where we want it to be.
Yeah.
That's essentially the slug line, the 10-cent version of that. There will always be conflict. There will always
most
be,
definitely. And there should be.
There will always be some chance of having your day
Violence,
rained upon, just like there is in the real life.
Exactly,
But if we do our job right and we continue developing the game the way that we want to, the systems that we're still waiting on, remember how long we waited for server meshing to this, if the systems we're waiting on come online as they're supposed to, eventually this will grow into a place where where those changes in security and everything are obvious to the players, and you will be allowed to make those decisions for yourself. Do I want the high risk, high reward of Pyro, or do I want the safer, more secure experience of Stanton? It's never going to be as simple as
no
PvP players or PvE players or Care Bears or Griefers or whatever pejoratives you want to throw. It's never going to be that simple. It's not that simple in real life. We're not aspiring to build something that simple in black and white for Star Citizen. It's one of those things that's hard. It's hard to always picture where we're going based on where we are and where we've been. But I actually think we've been rather consistent in this messaging. The question says that we're not, and I think that's more about people hearing
what they
this
want to
part,
hear.
Not that part.
It's
on
what
any
they
given
want to
stage,
hear.
or people regurgitating this part and not that part. Or
people always hear what they want to hear. They don't just see it. They want to hear what they want to hear, and I don't like that. Like, you hear the good part and I don't hear the bad part, or hear the bad part, don't hear the good part. I have to hear both parts and make a educated opinion after hearing both parts. That's why sometimes there's certain things where I don't want to think about it or speak about it until I have all the information, you know? So you agree with NPC support, but I feel like there's a lot of ways for people to exploit the NPC support, and the NPC support might not be great, because how does that work? Do they quantum there before you? Do they stop people from being able to quantum away, or do you get there first? And by the time the NPC support comes, you're either dead or the people NPC are like quantum away. But I feel like player space police, I feel like you can't beat players banding together to stop bad people. I feel like you cannot. The vibe you will get on a server where a group of players, like even now when I see them, people say, yes, we just hunted out, like there's these people, I think they're called Angel. I always see them on servers, and like, yeah, we just hunted down this pirate. OM2 or OM3 is safe, guys. We hunted, and the whole server is like, good job. Yeah, let's go. So imagine player freaking ran police force. That would be insane to me. I want it to be a thing where like a player can keep up with you and get there and absolutely cook you, and they don't need nothing. They can just cook you with the shit. Because if we are looking at real life, in my opinion, if I'm getting chased by a police cruiser, like the police out here have Kia Sprinters, bro. These guys are zoom. In America, they got Hellcats, bro. Like, they're driving some fast cars, some cars with armor. Why can't we have ships with armor that's given to you as a police officer who's done a certain amount of things to get that armored vehicle? What I'm seeing is if you bring like NPC ships, players will, there's this group of like criminals, they'll go together, they will kill all the NPC ships, have one of their friends who's not a criminal, does not have a crime stat, in a reclaimer, moth, or a or like one of those ships, right? And they'll be like, yeah, let's just salvage these. We'll get a crime stat when they chase us. We'll kill them. We'll run to another location. You just salvage them. But if you send a player with an OP ship, you're not gonna win. You're not winning unless you're really, really good. You're not winning. And if you don't win, you're not getting a free salvage. You can't just create a bunch of free salvage. You know, I just want them to. I want CIG to make a set of ships that are just a little above average, and they can tank a lot. We need some ships that can tank a lot to give regular players, make the regular PvE player feel safe enough to go do PvP to help the system, not in a malicious way, but to help the system. Think about it. Imagine you're in a cargo, you're in like your hull, you're whatever, and then you've been snared or something, and you're tanking damage, and then you just hear poof, and then you look around, and then there is UEE Sergeant Big Cock just jumped in and is in this OP ship, and all you see is flashes and everyone's getting blown up. Pause. Gang, I would feel like, bro, I'll be like, yup, that's my police force. That's my officer. Yeah. Think about the feeling. Drake police cruisers, no, I refrain, my whole idea, I take it back. If the ships are Drake, I take my whole idea back.
Or maybe there have obviously been times over the years where we haven't been as clear as we should have been. It's a mixture of everything. The goal has always been the same: a living, breathing, diegetic universe of risk versus reward. It just where do you want to go? Where do you want to go, and how do you want to play? We intend to cater to as many different groups as possible.
Yeah.
I think Rich Tyler said it.
We need to cater to everybody in the same universe.
We're not a PvP or a PvE game. We're in everything.
PvP,
game.
PvE.
We just want to have like areas where you feel very protected.
Yep.
So
And areas where you don't.
the security has like very short response times and is able to arrive in time before you explode. So those people that are like not that into PvP, they have the AI protectors helping them.
Yep.
I feel like AI
Rhino
protectors
Separath
won't be
says,
good enough.
actions, not words. To which I will say, look at the game today versus the game 3 years ago versus the game 3 years before that versus the game 3 years before that. The actions are there. We just have to keep going. Will we be able to pack and unpack uncontracted cargo into smaller or bigger containers?
Uncontracted?
Or contracted? Did I read that wrong?
Yeah.
I want to say no, because you're supposed to ramp up on your mission type. You know, like after a while, you don't have to do the 1 SU containers. You can do the 8 SU or 16 SUs. So I feel like that's skipping it. Imagine you have a container where you can slot in 1 SU boxes. I feel like that would be a good thing for regular, like maybe orgs and things where you need to have a bunch of boxes and whatnot. I feel like it would be good for that. But if you're using it for the cargo missions, I feel like you're cheesing the system. The system is supposed to be a grueling exercise. And if you want to do it better, you need to get more reps. So you can do the bigger boxes that take less time and pay you out more. So I feel like, yeah, it's that's a tough question to look at.
So contracted, I'm not too sure.
Contracted, yeah, I don't like it on
I like
contracted.
it as well. I've got a question about that, but yeah.
You want to unpack them as well?
Yeah, well, you know, if I give the player, like, one of the problems we have, sorry, we're going a bit off. One of the problems we have is, so you know when we did the Alliance Aid event, right?
Yeah.
And we had the cargo missions, and we had to give players 8 SU boxes.
Oh, yeah.
That's because I want to serve an average player ship size, and 8 SU is currently the average player ship size.
I see.
So what I'd prefer to do is go, hey, here's 200 SU you have to do, and then they use your system and go, okay, right, I'm going to unpackage and repackage.
I see.
And
Okay.
then I can choose it for the massive raft that I've got compared to I'm going to move 201 SU boxes because all I've got is like a Pisces or something.
Well, good news.
Then all you have to do is make the boxes
already
bigger.
in place. So the design is already written. It's just waiting for some engineers to be able to start working on it, which is allowing us to actually like split larger boxes into smaller, or even combine smaller boxes into larger boxes. It comes with a fee.
Oh, wait, I think that feature is already in the game. Have you guys realized when you're doing the Alliance Aid mission, let's say they say bring 4 SU of Laranite to TSS Spaceport, right? You have a 16 SU box. You bring up that 16 SU box and you drop it down. They break that 16 SU box down into like 8 SCU and then a 4 SU and like a 2 SCU. I think the feature is in the game, but they want to give us as the player the option to split boxes up. So you have a mission that's like, oh, bring 200 SCU and they're all going to be 16 SCU boxes. They want to give us the option to split those into smaller boxes so they fit on our ship. But I'm like, does that defeat the purpose of the mission saying these are going to be 16 SCU boxes or they're going to be 8 SCU boxes if you can then split them up again?
It's at least the intent as of now. But yeah. So we want to give the possibility on the actual like station inventory level that you use it there
to split the box down.
Repack your boxes into smaller or bigger boxes.
Perfect.
It's like not everybody has the ship that has the right
space.
configuration for doing some missions. I think the Mustang Alpha only has 4 SCU. Somebody's going to be like, that's wrong. How do you possibly not remember what the SCU of the Mustang Alpha was? I'm going to be like, I'm old. But, you know, and most missions start you off at like, what, 6?
Yeah,
SCU?
all the missions start you off at 6, but yeah.
Well, we're getting the courier missions back soon, aren't we?
Yeah, no, we are. We're working on, we split it up into 3. So we do courier, delivery, and then hauling.
Retrieval.
And the idea and the separation between them is courier will be one-handed items. So I don't want to say a burrito, but an example would be a burrito that you can put in your backpack. A 2-handed box, which people who play...
Wait, they want us to be Space Uber again. So we're not going to be Space Uber for just Wicklow. We're going to be Space Uber for Shubin Mining. Someone wants, I want breakfast. Go get me a burrito. Are you mad? Are you crazy? Are you insane?
Played this game a while back. You might remember the little 200 boxes you walk around with.
Yeah, I won that mission. I won
So
that
that's
back.
courier. Then
That was my first ever day, like my first ever day in Star Citizen. That was the first mission I did. I had to go get a box on a planet from this derelict outpost in my Aurora. I was in my Aurora, right? I had no weapons. I had no idea what I was doing. I just crashed my Aurora into Baijini Point. I had no idea. I went to this planet and then I was trying to get these boxes. I got out of my ship. I landed, got on my ship. They started shooting at me. So I got really scared. Then I learned how to turn on my flashlights. Turned on my flashlights, and then I also learned how to shoot. And then I freaking shot them, took their armor, took the boxes, put them in my Aurora, and I had to go to a rooftop at Area 18 and drop the boxes into this red machine, this red like drop-off point. And it was the coolest thing ever as a freaking new player to get that mission done all in one day. I was really hyped about it. I was really hyped.
delivery is how we bridge the gap between courier to hauling. So delivery will start at one SCU
appreciate
box,
the follow.
and it will go up to a total of 6 boxes of 1 SCU. We don't go above the 1 SCU size, which will help bridge that gap, and then players can do the hauling. And when I say it links them, it's not that you can't do hauling until you've done a bunch of courier and then a bunch of delivery. We'll offer them all straight away. But the idea is if you're a new player and you've only got, you know, the Mustang
SCU,
or a smaller ship like the old Aurora or whatever, you'd start there, you'd earn money via doing this gameplay, and then you'd you know, rent a new ship or buy a new ship from New Deal or whatever.
Imagine.
Right.
People are excited for a burrito delivery mission, so now you have to do
Burrito
just
delivery,
a solo burrito.
I don't want to be a freaking
Interstellar
Uber
hauling.
man.
Could you
See,
imagine?
our corp to Nick's one burrito.
If I ordered like takeaway and someone put a singular burrito on a shelf in public and was like, yeah, I'll put it over there for you, I'd be livid. Like,
You're selling it to me, dude. You're not talking me out of it.
What about an Amazon locker? If you had to go to an Amazon locker to get your burrito out of it.
Imagine, yeah, that's the red locker. Go to the Amazon locker to get one burrito where I'm spazzing out.
You still sold? Yeah.
Who knows what the 30th century is going to be like?
Whatever, we'll do it. What do you think, Tom?
I still want like same location delivery missions.
Ah, yes, that's what I want.
Mentally connected, also coming.
Same like location.
The DCs, the distribution centers. One of the things we're going to do for the delivery pilot missions is you're going to get missions to move boxes between the wings of the same DC. You get your little vehicles, load it up on boxes, and truck on round, and then take them off again.
I used to beg Todd Pappy for the stupidest mission in the world.
Todd Pappy.
And this is the absolute truth. I said, I want a mission. I would love a mission where it's just, it's like from Jared, it's from Disco or whatever, and it says, I've lost my keys. Can you help me find my keys? Like you get it from a kiosk, and the keys are sitting right on top of the kiosk. And you're just like,
and you
pick
put
it
it
up,
in.
and it's great, deliver, and you just like there. You never have to take a step anywhere. It's just the dumbest, most pointless mission with my name.
How much are you going to pay them for that?
10K.
Okay, we'll talk with economy about
But
it.
I used to like just a mission to find my keys, and they're right there. I just tried. Bring back the racing missions. It's not really industrial.
Racing missions?
But, we have a bunch of missions, like the courier ones, that I don't want to say died, but broke when we did 4.0. The systems changed, and it was quite a lot to get back. The racing missions are also one of them.
Racing missions?
They require, it's kind of like a multifaceted thing to get them working. It requires a little bit of us, a little bit of engineering, a little bit of UI, sort of to get it all together. However, we also want to look at the experience of it. One thing that we found really frustrating, and I know players did as well, was I get my ship, I fly 30 minutes to get to the racetrack, bungle out on the first corner, and then I'm like, right, let's get that flight suit, let's reclaim that ship, let's wait. We want to have and try to get a nicer experience for racing missions than what is currently, you know. Ages ago there was all sort of talks about having some form of like a little platinum bay right next to the station, you know, maybe a little med zone, boom, boom, back in the ship, round the track. Because we want racing in, we also want it to be fun and accessible.
That would actually be fire.
We're gonna need to get a button next time Elliot's on the show.
What's my button for? Oh right, yeah. I'm making an active effort. It's just
I know. No.
it flows.
We have the same vocabulary. The only difference is I'm trained to
control it. Elliot does not control his vocabulary, man. Oh my days.
What is the plan to make industrial multi-crew gameplay more impactful and a forced multiplayer, i.e. mining and salvage?
We did already a lot to improve the multi-crew experience there. I think we did more on the mining side than we did on the salvage side. So one thing we did was making use of the instability, for example, for mining.
Multiple lasers, being able to shore up the
So if
rock.
you're in different ships, multiple lasers will increase the instability. If you're in the same ship, multiple lasers actually won't affect it too much. So that encouraged players to use the mole, especially for the instability rocks, or the harder to crack instability rocks, or at least that was our intention back then. And it somehow worked. There's definitely still like room for improvements in regards to like true multi-crew, multiplayer gameplay. I think like not industrial, but engineering gameplay also like already moves into that segment. For salvage, it's a bit harder to achieve because of just the mechanics that we have for salvage, because they are like simplistic. Either you point a scraper beam on the surface, or you basically align a ship into a crunch zone, deconstruction field. So there it's a bit harder to find like meaningful multi-crew or multiplayer gameplay mechanics. Especially on the salvage side, we have like huge ships where it's like very, very beneficial if you have a lot of players on the ship. Like talking about the reclaimer, it is like very useful if you have someone in the cargo hold already unpacking the filler stations. Moving forward, what our goal is here is also like less like being like in this island features where we want to have the multi-crew, because we are like this, like we really want to tie in all the features together with crafting, and that means that
so everything is kind of based on crafting.
Or players will have to rely more on other players to do their job in a very, very good way, so that they also can benefit from it. Like what I'm talking about is, if you have a miner that basically is very effective in finding and mining the high quality resources, and then
you can buy it from them.
For far future, or in the not so far future, you have then the refiner that then brings in the refining process they have on their ship, and then refine it, like even increase the quality or retain the quality, or
retain
do something that helps the then crafter to actually be able to craft the perfect gun, the perfect ship.
I think this kind of thing would help things like when they add the merchantman, when they had ships like that. They could buy the really high quality ore, have it on their ship, and then you can come and buy that high quality ore. That I think, that it would tie in, and I think it's in the future. It would tie in really well in the future. Right now, I do see holes in the system that they're trying to go for. But when they have more things in, I feel like that definitely ties in.
For you, so this is like, sure, you can do it alone, but that time and effort you have to put in alone is just tremendously like lower if you have friends, or if you even don't have friends and you just pay people in the verse to do your job.
I was thinking that almost every Star Citizen developer can be divided into one of two camps. The ones who say soon a little too easily, and the ones who say far future,
in the future
a little too easily. Chat's picking up on how often you say the far future. I'm saying
my far future is the next weekend.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I've actually been thinking for the last 20 minutes how to explain this difference. There are people here who have to live. What's the line from Fast and the Furious? I live a quarter mile at a time. There are people here who live like one patch at a time. Like it's the ones who have to deliver what's happening right now. They're actually down in the code, down in the stuff. So anything beyond the next patch seems like a universal way, and it really skewers the timetable. For years with multiple weekly shows and stuff, I could never think of something more than 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away was this impossibly far. So what I'm saying is, just like I would caution you to, what you read into when someone says soon, caution the same thing when Torsten says far. None of the people in here are in charge of the schedule. Why do event missions keep using a bunch of smaller boxes for the mission size instead of the larger ones?
Yeah.
Did we rewind to the conversation me and Torsten just had a couple of minutes ago?
Yeah.
So we make it for everybody. We want it to engage every type of player we had, because we have so many different types of players. And one of the fun things about events, or that can be fun, and we saw with Alliance Aid, is all of these peoples of different walks of life coming together, right? Everyone being in this station in Levski, running around, all doing the little bits, whether they're going out to go murder a load of, Marine gang, or maybe they're like transporting goods. So with that, we look at the average ship size that's owned by players.
Feels like either the system Torsten was describing, where you could split the boxes up, or something dynamic in Mission 2.0 that looks at what ship you currently have
and
spawn
and
goes, okay, this thing has a storage capacity of this, so I will generate boxes of this size. Or some combination of the two, maybe.
The problem with like the mission auto detecting it, right, is say say me and Torsten are mates and we're both playing and we've both got a dead small ship. We then want to split it up, maybe for his ship, because owns a bigger one, or maybe we're going to do one run at the same time in two small ships. So instead, I want to break it up into smaller boxes. So we know it's not perfect. It's something we want to get better at, but we need the system to be able to do that.
A lot of the things are just the system. We need the system to catch up.
We touched on this a little bit, Torsten. I want to get it in and get it clearer here. Any plans to release fueling or towing missions this year?
I don't think it's like a big thing, but you say yes. Okay, right. At least he said yeah.
Trying to think of what I want to say. Yes, and there'll be a discussion on that soon. The poor Starfarer has languished for some time.
4 years.
Huh?
4 years.
Starfarer came out in 2016.
Yeah, but the functionality came out it was my first thing I worked on here.
But there haven't been missions for it. It's refueling. Refueling is interesting.
The Gemini.
Talking about this. I was talking about this. Been talking about it a lot because there might be a new refueling ship coming.
Oh. If they add a new refueling ship without adding the refueling gameplay loop, that's just, you could add something else. Just do something else.
Barry says it.
There is a new refueling ship coming in a while.
In the very far.
Not soon or far, just in a while. So we've been talking about this.
It's a surprise.
Refueling sort of sits with medical gameplay as this one where it's not really supported by the gameplay, like the story and the gameplay we provide. It kind of relies on other players. Like you have to wait for another player to get shot down and wounded before you have something to do as a medic. And with refueling, you kind of have to wait for another player
to run out of fuel,
to run out of gas, and be like,
well, so we're actually currently working on refueling missions.
I thought he was going to say we're actually working on freaking medical missions. Come on.
And we're doing 2 types for the initial release. We're going to do player to AI refueling. So this is where I have my Starfarer. I can take a contract from the faction, which I'll leave as a surprise for later, not because I forgot the faction name. We'll offer you the contract. You'll go. There will be a ship that's out of fuel, and you will go up to it and you'll fill it full of fuel. And that might not all, that, depending on where you are, potentially what system you are, you might turn up and they didn't need fuel. But they want your fuel bags because maybe.
So they're gonna try to pirate you. Oh my days! So you go to refuel someone and they try to pirate you.
What? Someone abusing the service beacon system?
Yeah.
How dare they?
We might also have ones where you've refueled the person, and then maybe some people come to finish the job off or something, some pirates or whatever.
So dynamic
and then we have
mission.
the opposite, which is going to be AI 2-player refueling. This is where you put up a beacon, and this is because the work to get the PvP beacon done.
That is actually good. I have ran out of fuel maybe 10 times in my year of playing Star Citizen. I've ran out of fuel like 10 times. So you can call to be refueled in space if you run out of fuel. Brilliant.
Just a little bit extra. So what we're going to do for the first release is have it so you can make one, but we have an AI ship to come to refuel you. The AI ship will come. you'll ask it to dock. It'll dock with you'll dock with it, close, and then it'll give you your fuel for a sort of set fee.
Yeah. So I mean, that second one is certainly interesting for the broader community, but it having the missions that spawn an AI who's run out of gas and actually have a purpose, you know, having something to do with your Starfarer and other potential refueling ships that isn't just waiting for another player to choose not to backspace. It's a long time coming.
Yep.
But we also have the intent of making the player-to-player refueling more accessible.
Yes.
In comparison to what we have right now.
Torsten has plans.
Yep.
I always have plans.
Quality of life.
Always.
The Gaming Tribunal says in all capitals, "Stop adding combat into industry." To which I will say, no.
We need it.
We just had a whole.
Or it's gonna be super boring. People people are so scared of combat. Combat is not that hard in Star Citizen. I promise you, it's not that hard in Star Citizen. Why is everyone always scared of combat, man? Okay, look, let me tell you right now, bro. If they turn off backspace, I feel like the player count of Star Citizen gets cut down by 60%. I feel like people aren't going to bother. They're just gonna, if they turn off backspacing for 1 week, by the second week, 60 to 70% of the player base of Star Citizen is not going to log in. And when Death of a Spaceman comes in, if there's not certain things, people are going to get all squirmy. I promise you.
Whole big conversation about that. It's all mixed, guys. It's all mixed.
Exactly.
That's the game we're making. It's all mixed. We've been saying that for years. Whatever conversations people are still having.
If you don't like it, do your cargo mission. If you don't like it, do your delivery mission. If you don't like it when they bring the space janitor, do your space janitor. Don't leave the star system.
It's all mixed.
Don't leave the
just
planet.
like the world. It's different security sectors. You'll be less likely to have it happen in Terra. A little more likely to have it happen in Stanton. And if you're in Pyro,
Definitely. Yeah.
Go with God. When it comes to salvage gameplay, is it still planned that we will be siphoning fuel and oxygen or using salvage charges to gain access to wrecks?
So I think back in the days we talked about siphoning the...
C4?
Is it siphoning or siphoning? Siphoning fuel and oxygen from derelict ships or from recently deactivated ships.
So you can siphon the fuel.
So
the oxygen.
We didn't find a meaningful place of that in the entire gameplay loop, because right now fuel, we really would like, on the fuel side, we would rather encourage refining and the fuel gathering. So I think there was also a scooping question in regards to that. So we rather would like to focus on those gameplay mechanics. So mining to get quantanium, refine it into quantum fuel. Also, then the scooping part to get hydrogen out of like gas clouds or atmospheres, and then refine that into the corresponding fuel, rather than you like invading ships and then putting in a plastic tube and sucking up the one ship to the other. So that all jokes aside, I think the more interesting gameplay here is more on the scooping part and on the refining and mining part. So we decided, okay, this is not the most necessary part of the salvage gameplay. So we put it on hold for the time being. Same for the atmosphere. Right now, when we were talking about that, the concept of the life support generator as we have it right now with the engineering gameplay wasn't that well defined yet, or wasn't at the point where we are at now, because it also went through a lot of iterations. And right now with the actual life support generator, with the filter items there that can actually generate the oxygen or the gases for the ships, this is also like an unnecessity at this point. About the charging breaches though,
I don't even think they need to like add the whole life generator oxygen thing. I feel like that's a little bit OD, but I see that they're trying to fully flesh this out. But I feel like it's OD. Like, we don't need to have, your ship is running out of oxygen. Like, gang, come on, man. If I fill up my ship with oxygen, let me at least use it for like 6 weeks before you need to like refuel it. Like, what's up with that? Nah, free fuel is free fuel. Yeah, I understand, but fuel is pretty much free. It costs like $1,000 for an empty tank of like most ships, like 2,000 freaking credits, man. That's nothing.
Oh yeah, they are still on the table. So we are discussing them very regularly, but then we realize we don't have the time to do them, or we don't have the people to do it in time. and then we're like, oh yeah, sad, and then we move on and we talk about it at a later point again.
Yep. Commander Tanith says your industrial players don't want constant combat in their industrial missions. A rare chance is one thing, but adding combat into every aspect of the game is lazy.
No, it's not.
Commander Tanith, I'm not saying we're going to add combat into every aspect of the game.
People just get they hear what they want. They said he literally listed like 4 different possibilities. You can have a mission where you just go and you fill them up. You can have a mission you go, you fill them up, but then you realize that they don't want fuel. They want to take your fuel. You can go, you can fill them up, and then people come back to do it. He didn't just say there's going to be combat in every single one. Like, oh, damn.
That's a kind of a gross misappropriation of what we've been talking about here when we talked about this earlier. There will be a chance, what we said, and the chance changes depending on what system you're in. As the law system continues to develop, those chances will reduce in the systems that you expect it to. There's a continual struggle.
But didn't even Elliot say that there's missions where you can get, but there are also others where you will not
get?
So it's also like
they hear what they want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. The mission will tell you.
Yeah.
There's a continual struggle in building an MMO out over the last, the PU's been up and running since December 2015, about 10 years at this point, running a live environment in the middle of your game development and stuff. And it's this constant pull between developing for today and developing for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anything that you build for today is almost guaranteed to have to be redone because of something that's coming down the line future, for tomorrow. When possible, you're faced every single day with 100 little micro decisions that are: do we build it this way for today, or do we build it this way for tomorrow?
In my opinion, build for tomorrow, because if tomorrow is going to be the end goal, then you build for the end goal. You don't build for now, you build for the end goal, because the end goal is where it's going to stop.
Because we know where we're going. And most of the time you want to build for tomorrow. You want to build systems that can scale and that can evolve into this vision that you're going towards. People have noticed I've mentioned Terra a couple times. I'm simply referring back to the Road to 1.0 from Rich Tywer's presentation at CitizenCon 2 years ago, where he said, the Road to 1.0 includes 5 systems, with the last one being Terra, the safest of all the systems.
Yeah.
The idea being, it's towards the middle there, towards the middle of the empire you're safer. And then as you get farther and farther out from the empire, you find more and more danger and risk. That is not the same as what Commander Tanith says, adding combat to every aspect of the game is lazy. It is building a living, breathing system of measured risk and reward that then you get to choose. You get to have the agency of playing in the areas that you want to play in and accepting the risk versus the...
No, but that's the thing. Alpha isn't for everyone. There's a lot of balance and patience, and people don't understand that. Like, what do they not understand by we need to build a system that can be scaled? And you, like, bro, and the worst part is I like the fact that when like people from CIG, like Jared is talking or something, they normally give it to you like this is what it is, right? They just tell you, this is what it is. And people still decide to hear one little aspect of it and they run with it. How we sat through the same freaking 1 hour video, and that is the comment they made in the chat. That is the question they added after sitting through the same 1 hour we just heard. Like 5 minutes ago, Elliot just talked about the fact that there is a chance you'll get nothing at all. Chance. And this is the same question that they're having. It's like, then sometimes it's just like, man, that voice in your head, tell it to shh.
Reward that you want. It's not lazy, it's allowing you the agency to choose.
Exactly.
And that's what we're building towards. That's not always easy to see at this moment. And so I understand where the frustration comes from. I mean, I've experienced the frustration myself. You log into Twitch streams, you see the frustration every day. I just encourage folks to remember that decisions are often made based on where we're going, not necessarily where we are right now. It's just a continual balance. And, I think we're doing a pretty good job. And last year, 2-star systems, we're going whenever the crafting system on the way, the inventory rework, it's hard. It is hard to look at some aspects of the game today and be like, why don't you just fix that and whatever. It's like the issues with the moth right now. There are people who have just bought a moth and they have the issues with the buffer size being wrong and the salvage beams being they're slow. Is that what's happening with the salvage beams? I don't have the issue council here in front of me. And these are all things that are being adjusted and worked on for 4.7. And so like this is just, that's the next time we can do major code additions to the game. We can't fix everything with a hotfix. It's just, it's difficult. And
but I will say, when you're doing something like you have the moth and you're selling a ship to people, I did expect it to be a little bit more fleshed out. A lot of people have been complaining about the moth, and I feel like it wasn't ready to come out. You guys should have fleshed it out a little bit more, because all these issues shouldn't have been a thing. People just spent a lot of money on this ship and they can't use it to the extent that they want to, which isn't right. I feel like that isn't right. So we can't just skip over that and be like, oh, it's okay, we're gonna wait until the next patch. When you're making people pay money continuously for pieces of product, especially game code like this, you have to make sure you flesh it out as much as you can before the release.
Saw some of the responses there. I want to encourage people, rewatch that section. Elliot was very eloquent in his answer, and I encourage you to see it again. It's about giving you the choice to play how you want, and with the amount of risk and the amount of reward that you seek.
One more thing to add on to that is Star Citizen is very unique because of scale. And when you're building content for something that's got an infinite scale, you need variability. Yeah. So chances of other things happening so that it doesn't get stale.
Exactly.
And that's what it is.
Because these are the same people who will argue and complain about Star Citizen is stale. I'm going to go play Elite Dangerous. I'm going to go play No Man's Sky because Star Citizen is stale. But when they do things to not make it stale, they complain again. Like, choose one. Complain or not complain.
Will be controlled, as you've said, per the systems, per the law. But we need variability to achieve the scale and make it feel not the same old, same old.
And with that, we'll wrap up the show, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and to answer questions from the community. We'll be back next week. I think our SCL next week is with the audio team. So
audio team, that's going to be crazy.
On Spectrum tomorrow, collecting your questions. We'll do the same like we did today. You guys submit your questions. We'll pose them all to the audio team. I think we're going to do a focus on spaceship audio, which they've been doing a whole lot of work on.
I thought you were
so look for
talking
that
about
thread on Spectrum tomorrow. Until next time, Torsten, Elliot, thank you so much for hanging out. Bye, everybody.
But yeah, so that is us reacting to the Star Citizen Live, the Q&A, industrial gameplay. Not everything is meant for everybody. And if you think I'm buying this ship for this one purpose, I don't want to have any conflict, that's your decision. It doesn't mean the game has to play out like that for everybody else. And I hate the fact that people will give you a message in its full entirety, and then you choose one thing and you just zoom in on that, and then that's the thing that you want to put out into the world. It doesn't make sense. Put out the whole story, the way it was said to you. Put it out there so you can have a constructive conversation about it. Because when you have one thing and you choose that one thing and you penalize that one thing, it becomes a destructive conversation because we don't have the whole truth. It's almost like greed. It's greed and self-centeredness. This game is not meant for just one person. It's meant for a lot of people. But yeah, that's my reaction to the Star Citizen Live. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one.